What's up, guys? Alvaro here, and welcome to the bilingual stock market channel again. On this channel, we talk about the market, and we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. And in this video, and as I do it Mondays through Thursdays, I want to make a quick stock market update. So I want to break down some technicals going over S&P 500 and the NASDAQ 100, and I also want to break down from a technical standpoint 3 stocks and 1 meme coin that are on the very top of my personal watch list as of now. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. And finally, guys, at last we saw a red day in the market, except for the NASDAQ 100, which went up something like 0.25%. But other than the NASDAQ 100, the other indices closed today's trading session in negative territory. We are going to go over the NASDAQ 100 in just a second. So Russell 2000 went down today. This was the worst performing sector by far today, going down 1.90%. NASDAQ broke even. Dow Jones went down 0.74%, and the S&P 500 went down 0.51%. In general terms, guys, we had, for the most part, a red day all across the board when it comes to the S&P 500, because 10 out of 11 sectors that trade inside the S&P closed today in negative territory, except for consumer discretionary, which went up not much, but it went up 0.22%, mainly because of Tesla and Amazon, which happen to be the most important members inside the consumer discretionary sector. In general terms, and circling back to what I was telling you guys, today we had a day in which only a handful of stocks did the heavy lifting. I am talking about Tesla, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft. But other than those stocks, we saw most of the stocks out there having a negative day. The worst performing sector today was energy, which went down 2.86%. And something that is worth pointing out, guys, is that the financial sector got absolutely killed today. This was the second to last worst performing sector today, going down 1.67%, and it went down a lot because the 10-year treasury yield retraced something like 5%. So we needed a pullback, we got a pullback, and now the question, the $1 million question is, how low can we go if we happen to see a, let's say, bigger pullback? But we are going to break down the S&P and the NASDAQ 100 in just a second. And before going over the S&P 500, I wanted to highlight the most important earnings that are coming out tomorrow. So before open, we have Shopify, we have MasterCard, we have Caterpillar, we have Merck, Altria, and Comcast. Those are the most important earnings tomorrow before open. Then after close, we're gonna have a wild afternoon, guys. We have Apple, Amazon, and Starbucks, Western Digital, and MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy, correct. Okay, I was butchering the name of the company of good old Michael Saylor, right? And Gilead is also reporting earnings tomorrow, so most likely in tomorrow's video I am going to go over the earnings report of Amazon, Apple, and Starbucks as well, and maybe MicroStrategy. That could be the case in tomorrow's video. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the S&P 500. And as I said in the introduction of this video, the S&P went down today 0.51%, and it closed today's trading session at 4,551 points. And take a look, guys, at how the picture of the S&P is starting to change. So the relative strength index of the S&P was at 80 points yesterday, and as of now, we can see it way lower, guys, at 63 points. So the let's say the action to the downside that we saw today was very healthy. In my opinion, this is my personal opinion, obviously. We are going to see, or we are very likely to see, 2 possible scenarios in the upcoming days. First scenario, holding 45.45, which happens to be a former all-time high, back from early September as lower support, and maybe we can see the S&P not doing much and trading sideways for 1 or 2 trading sessions, having 45 or 4,545 points as lower support, which is going to be, which would be a healthy price action for the S&P, or watch out for 45 being broken to the downside, in which case I think that the next destination of the bulls of the S&P, of the S&P 500 could be either 45.24, which happens to be a former area of resistance back from mid-September, and if 45.25 happens to be broken to the downside, then we could see 4,500. And this is the scenario that I would like to see, guys. I pull back down to 4,500. If that were to happen, then we're going to see a huge drop when it comes to the relative strength index of the S&P, and we can start consolidating slightly above 4,500 and then keep on going up without the S&P 500 being in an overbought condition. And mind you, we can clearly see over here on the 4-hour chart the formation of a golden cross. You guys can see how this 50 SMA crossed above this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart today, so this is bullish in and of itself. So we can make the case that maybe a drop down to 45.23, 45.25 is going to be bought up. That could be the case, and I would like to see 4,500, but 45.25 would also be positive, and even a consolidation slightly above 45.45 would also be positive for the S&P 500. And mind you, guys, something that is worth pointing out is that so far, and since we are in the middle of the new earnings season, so far 75% of the companies that have reported earnings have beaten on earnings, and the average, during this time of the year is 69%. So we are seeing earnings report that are coming out better than expected, and let's say better than they usually do during this season or during this time of the year. So I don't see any reason for the markets to pull back, down further 4,500 in the case of the S&P 500. That's my personal opinion, and you guys know that, obviously, full disclosure, I am a bull. Okay, in the case of the NASDAQ 100, this index went up today 0.25%. The relative strength index, the RSI of the NDX, is at 67 points, so it dropped a bit. You guys know that last week we saw the RSI of the NASDAQ 100 at 80 points, very elevated. So now it is lower. And the NDX reached a new all-time high today at 15,729 points. So can the NDX keep on going up? For sure, it can do it. That could very well be the case. However, I would like to see a retracement, guys, down to a former area of overhead resistance at 15,500 points. 15,500 points is an area in which the bulls of the NDX failed on 3 occasions by mid-September. That is going to be very healthy for the NASDAQ 100. And mind you, take a look at how we are about to see, in the case of the NDX, the formation of a golden cross. You guys can see how we could potentially be seeing this 50 SMA crossing above this 180 SMA in the upcoming days. So this is bullish in and of itself, and I think that we are going to see more upside for the remaining of the year, guys. I think that we are likely to see 4,700 in the case of the S&P 500 by the end of this year, and in the case of the NASDAQ 100, I don't know, guys. I don't want to, make any prediction over here, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see 16,000 points by the end of the year 2021. We will see what that plays out like. And the first stock of this video is going to be AMC Entertainment. And now I am wondering, guys, is it possible? This is just a question, and if you guys have any opinion about it, please drop a comment down below and let me know. Is it possible that Shiba Inu killed meme stocks? Is it possible that most of the retail investors that were betting the farm on AMC, locked in the profit or took a loss on AMC and now they are taking a gamble on Shiba Inu. And could that be the reason for AMC to have dropped? Let me see. So AMC dropped, guys, since last week until today, 20%. So can we make the case that AMC and GameStop and Clover Health and Wish and Workers and all of those meme stocks are dropping because there's a new interest among the majority of retail investors? I don't know, guys. I'm starting to think that that's a serious possibility. And in the case of AMC, the stock of this company dropped today 3.58%, and it closed today's trading session at $34.76. And we have a clear line in the sand for the bulls or the apes of AMC at $32, guys. This is an area of support. This is a critical area of support that has to be held as lower support, as a lower pivot for AMC. So 32 bucks already acted as lower support back in early August, and it also acted as lower support back in mid-July. If 32 bucks happens to be broken to the downside, then the next important or the next foreseeable area of support for AMC is going to be $28, which happens to be a former area of support back from August 5th. And in my case, guys, I am holding 100 shares. I have a covered call that expires on Friday. So if AMC breaks 32 bucks to the downside, I am going to be tempted, I gotta be pretty honest, guys, in order to sell a put at $28. That would be my plan if AMC happens to break 32 bucks to the downside. However, I'm thinking that since 32 bucks is such an important area in technical terms for AMC, if I happen to confirm from a technical standpoint that 32 bucks is providing a good support, I could even buy shares, guys, at 32 bucks in order to ride them up to the next important area of overhead resistance for AMC at 32 bucks, which happens to be a former area of overhead resistance in which AMC failed on 2 occasions back in mid-August, and we are also talking about a former area of support back from early June. If I were able to take this trade the way that I am describing it, picking up shares at 32 bucks and selling out of those shares at $38, sorry, I could be making a 19% profit. And if we take a look at the relative strength index of AMC, it is at 30 points. It is very low. So it is low, actually. So AMC is about to enter into oversold territory. So we can make the case, if AMC happens to pay a visit in an aggressive way to 32 bucks, I would say that the relative strength index of AMC is going to be even lower, and that is going to increase the likelihood for the bulls of AMC to find support at a previous area of support and then bounce back up. So in my case, I am very likely, guys, I think, of starting a quick trade on AMC at 32 bucks, and if that area of support happens to be broken to the downside, I might be also selling puts at $28, and let's see if the hype is definitely gone. I think that if 28 bucks happens to be broken to the downside, guys, this is going to be good night for AMC, at least in the short term. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Lucid Motors. And in the case of Lucid Motors, we got good news today, guys. Let me see if I can see the news over here. So Lucid announced that they are going to start deliveries next Saturday. I'm thinking, let me see if I have dreams come true. Lucid confirmed. Yeah, there you go. So dreams come true. The news says. So Lucid confirms first customer deliveries to take place on October 30th. So that's on Saturday. Yeah, next Saturday. So Lucid went up today on this news 2.43%, and it closed today's trading session at $27.02. So guys, I'm thinking this is a risky trade because we could see buy the rumor, sell the news into Saturday. However, I think that we have a good momentum when it comes to the stock of this electric vehicle manufacturer, and $28, guys, is such an important area in technical terms because we are talking about an area of overhead resistance in which the bulls of Lucid already felt back in mid-September, late July, also in early June, and lastly they felt at $28 back in late March. So we are talking about a critical area of overhead resistance that the bulls of Lucid, check this out guys, that the bulls of Lucid haven't been able to surpass or to break to the upside since late March. So we're in front of a very important area of resistance in psychological terms. So I'm thinking, guys, that if Lucid can take on $28.20-ish on good volume and momentum, we could see the next gap being filled up to $33, which happens to be a former area of resistance in which Lucid failed back in mid-March. So if the stock of this company would be able to make this push to the upside from $28.20-ish up to $33, we are looking at a trade that would leave us a profit of 16%. And if we take a look at the relative strength index of Lucid, guys, it is at 66 points. It is a bit elevated, but I think that if $28 happens to be broken on good volume and momentum, we can easily fill this gap up to $33, in which case, obviously, guys, the relative strength index is going to go way higher, I don't know, 70 or 75 points, and that is going to obviously force us to close our trade at $33. So Lucid is trading above the moving averages. We had a very positive catalyst today, so I am going to be keeping a close watch on Lucid like a hawk if the stock of this company happens to be able to burst above $28. And now let's go ahead and take a look at Skillz, ticker symbol SKLZ. And in the case of Skillz, the stock of this company went down today a bit, not much, 0.09%, and it closed today's trading session at $11.09. And guys, it looks like the technical chart for Skillz is changing. First of all, we are trading above the moving averages on the 4-hour chart, and we might be potentially seeing the formation of a golden cross on the 4-hour chart. So you guys can see over here how this 50 SMA is about to cross above this 180 SMA on the 4-hour chart. So I'm thinking, guys, that since Skillz is slightly below a former area of overhead resistance in which the stock of this company failed on 3 occasions back in August, I'm thinking that this could be a momentum trade, because if the bulls of Skillz happen to be able to take on $11.48, which is the previous area of overhead resistance back from August that I just told you guys about, I think that we are going to see good momentum kicking in, and Skillz would be able, guys, I think that as a momentum trade, the stock of this company could potentially fill the next gap up to $13.89, which happens to be a former area of resistance in which the stock of this company failed in early September. And we are also talking about a former area of support that acted on 3 occasions back in July. So if I were able to take this momentum trade the way that I am describing it over here, picking up some shares once this breakout occurred above $11.40, let's say that I pick up some shares at $11.78, and if I am able to write them up to $13.90 or $13.50, I could be making a 15% profit. And mind you, guys, this is the stock of a company that can trade with its relative strength index being very elevated. So take a look at how Skillz has already traded with its relative strength index being at 84 points before on 2 occasions. So, and taking into account that the relative strength index is at 63 points, I wouldn't be surprised if we can actually fill this next gap up to $13.50, even though the RSI is a bit high because it is at 63 points. And now let's go ahead and take a look at the talk of the town, guys. So Shiba Inu, what is going on over here, guys? So Shiba is trading as of now at 73 77.38. It is up today, guys, 61%. This is absolutely unbelievable. And we have a new all-time high in the case of SHIB at 8768 or 8768. You guys know that these numbers, these figures of Shiba are very tough to be pronounced because of the great amount of zeros that we have over here. So I'm thinking, guys, because Robinhood reported horrible earnings yesterday. You guys know, if you saw yesterday's video, I went over Robinhood's earnings report, and the report was horrible. I mean, all across the board, they missed on revenue, they missed on EPS, they are burning a lot of money, and on top of that, they are losing market share. So, if we look retrospectively to Robinhood's second to last earnings report, 60% of Robinhood's revenue came from Doge trading. And since Doge has lost momentum, because let's face it, guys, all the momentum, all the good momentum of Doge is for the most part gone. I think that even Elon tweeted something about Doge yesterday. It didn't do anything. It didn't pump it up. So all Doge's momentum is gone, and Doge's good momentum was gained by Shiba. So could this pump, this amazing pump that we saw today in SHIB, be Robinhood loading up on SHIB because they are about to let's say include Shiba Inu in their cryptos portfolio? So I think that Robinhood, the upper management of Robinhood, must be desperate in order to adhere Shiba Inu to their cryptocurrencies portfolio. And something that is worth pointing out, guys, with the amazing pump that we saw today in the case of Shiba. So Shiba is larger in terms of market cap relative to Doge. So now Shiba surpassed Doge's market cap by something like $8 billion. So this is no joke. You guys have to be very careful. I wouldn't advise anyone. I'm not going to buy Shiba Inu at these levels for sure, and I wouldn't advise anyone to pick up Shiba at these levels. And in my case, guys, I think that we are going to see a huge correction anytime soon. I am not trying to scare away anyone, but we are going to see a correction. Actually, Shiba has been going up like crazy today, whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum and Doge and Cardano, all of those cryptos have been going down. So in my opinion, and obviously sticking to a, let's say, technical analysis, this is unsustainable. We're going to see a huge drop eventually. And in my case, I am going to be waiting for Shiba at 29.37, which is an area of resistance that acted as such in recent days. That's the price that I am going to be willing to pay for Shiba, 28.97 or 2900. I am not going to touch Shiba at these levels for sure. And if you are holding Shiba, you gotta be ready. Even though if you have, a huge gain, you gotta be ready because we are going to see a correction sooner rather than later. It is gonna happen. So if you want to hold Shiba until it gets to, I don't know, to 1 cent or 50 cents or $1 or whatever, you have to be ready because this is going to be a wild ride. And in my opinion, time will tell whether I was right or wrong. I think that the huge pump that we saw today in the case of Shiba could have been Hood loading up on this cryptocurrency because they are in a desperate need to increase their revenue. Most of the revenue of Hood was coming from Doge, and Doge lost its momentum, I would say, like, I don't know, 99%. So that's my take on what is going on in the case of Shiba, and congrats to all the members of the Shiba army out there. You guys are doing great. And be ready because this one is going to be a wild ride, no doubt about it. And with Shiba Inu, I am going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for your attention, and thank you very much for hanging out with me once again. Remember and keep in mind, guys, that here on the Bilingual Stock Market channel, we are posting stock market update videos Mondays through Thursdays, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. So if you want to get all of the notifications of all of our videos in a timely manner, you have to be subscribed to this channel, but you also need to activate the notification bell right up there. Follow us on Instagram as well, guys, at Bilingual Stock Market. And remember that this is the Bilingual Stock Market channel, the YouTube channel in which we talk about the market, but we do it in English and Spanish as well, so you can pick your preferred language. But most importantly, this is the YouTube channel in which we know that the wonderful world of Wall Street is not for geniuses. It is for entrepreneurs just like you guys and myself. My name is Alvaro, and I will see you guys tomorrow once again, 3 or 4 hours after the market closes. Peace out.